All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. Excuse me, we are in the, hold on a second, let me clear my throat. We'll be doing our fifth leg of our 32-leg flight to the former Dutch East Indies, now known as Indonesia. So let's go ahead and get our announcement started. Well, hopefully folks come in. If not, it's all good. Please pay attention to the following announcement from your streaming host. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We will be flying the Fokker F.VIIb 3M-Retrofit. We are departing from Belgrade, Serbia, and headed to Sofia, Bulgaria. I am not taking requests for flights at this time. My flight schedule is created well in advance and is subject to change based on my own schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays are jetliner, including regional jets. Also, that will include business jets. Why not? Thursdays, military aviation flights. Saturday, we have flights featuring the P-38 Lightning. Good morning, Mick. We call that Lightning Saturday. Sunday is our scenic flights. So we just find a nice place to fly around and check out the sights. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you for your attention. So we've got so before we get started, kind of go over what happened on Monday. I overstressed the engine because I did not have the aircraft at the proper cruising speed, which is about 80 or so knots, about 80, 85, somewhere in there, in that range. So what we're going to do today, we've got the fuel set to be used, okay, and we'll have plenty of fuel to get there. We'll put a little extra in just to be on the safe side in case anything happens, but we're going to try to work on getting the speed dialed back to where it should be for the cruise portion of the flight. Okay, so let's get in here, get everything started, and we will be on our way. Hopefully everybody's having a good Wednesday. Happy middle of the week. So let's see how we get on with this. Okay. Let's go ahead and get all this set up first. And I think also I probably have picked up some bad habits because I got used to flying with the failures off. So I may have gotten a little too used to that. So it's like I feel like I'm learning to fly all over again. Correct that. All right. Let's go ahead and get the... engine cranked up. All right, we dial in our first VOR. 11755. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, when I made the flight plan, it's telling us to go all the way down there and take off and then turn around and go back. I'm just going to ignore that. We're going to go right here and take off. So probably not the best turnaround I've done in history of ever. Hello, Mela. Nice to see you here. Hello, Skip. I'll catch up in the chats here in just a moment. Don't mean to ignore anybody. This thing really just wants to go. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? That's the wrong button. Not add in our... Boy, why is this plane really just... I gotta put the parking brake on because it's wanting to go. Okay. I'm doing good, Skip. Thank you. Xbox should be coming today. Yes, hello, Cassandra Murray. Welcome to the stream. Let me get our aircraft lined up here. We'll get it on the way. Right, so one of the things we have to focus on our takeoff, we have to do that a little bit better also. That's one of our areas that it should set us up better for our departure and everything else. Follow. All right, I think we are good to go. All right, let me just pull up the instructions here just a bit. Okay, takeoff. Okay. So pull back on the yoke. Start applying power. At about 50. Okay. Should be lift stop. We should have been lifted off a while back. All right, we're on our way. Swap that frequency over. And we're not going to get the beeping because it's a DME. It's not a VOR DME. And just 70 knots. Okay, so we got to get the power back. Got to get the props back as well. We're supposed to be heading on 129. Boy, that wind is really coming its way with us. Come on. Again in the chat here in just a moment, folks. Let me get the plane kind of going the way we need to be going, and we'll catch up in a moment. So I'm trying to figure out, we still got to get the power dialed back somehow. Still wanting to go the speed that we have. I'm not sure. Let me get the plane lined up here. Okay. Oh, nice. Well, that's for you PC folks. There's no. I don't think that's coming to the Xbox anytime soon. Matter of fact, I was just thinking about that this morning when I was making my coffee, is that, you know, tomorrow is the, you know, developer update, and I don't expect any, you know, it's like we have this weird sort of situation where we get some stuff, you know, like there's a couple Thursdays in a row we get some really good stuff, and then all of a sudden it just kind of like, you know, we go back to just airports and scenery stuff. So we never know what we're going to get, you know, and, you know, so it's, so I want a certain RPM. And it's like, it's not wanting to get to that. RPM. Okay, now I think I got it, but it's still, right, maybe I need to adjust the mixture as well. Let's try 85%. Close to the same as possible. Yeah, see, the airspeed's not dropping. Well, now it seems like it's starting to kind of taper off. But I need to get it, I need to drop it more, but it's like, it's not wanting to drop. Okay. But anyway, Cassandra, if you're still here, welcome. Hope you're still hanging out. Welcome to the stream. We are on leg 5 of our 32-leg flight going to the former Dutch East Indies. This is a KLM, the Royal Dutch airline. That this route was flown in the 1930s when Indonesia was a Dutch colony. So we are heading there. See, that speed does not want to go. And my RPMs, everything's within the range that it says it should be. I'm going to get the yoke out the way so we can see the instrumentation better. I see it's all in the green. The manifold, I think, is where I think I got to drop the manifold just a little bit more. I really want this to go off course. Eee. Don't know why this plane does not want to slow down. I wonder if that's just a glitch. Like, I have everything dialed back to what it says it should be. Everything's in the green. I mean, the RPMs might be a little bit low, but we can adjust that. Yeah, very strange. So everything's where it should be. Manifold pressure is where it should be. Our RPMs, let's see, it says RPMs for cruise is what? Between 2,000. Okay, so I need to up that a little bit more, the RPMs. I just wonder if it's just something like I'm just not gonna. Oh my goodness, I am going all over the place. Boy, this wind is just kicking my butt today. I cannot get this plane to settle down to save my life. All right. Yeah, everything's right where it should be. You know, I'm getting it there, but it's like the speed is not coming down at all. I don't know why that is. Like, everything I read tells me that okay, it's starting to drop a little bit, but that's because we've got a slight, See, now it's gone back up again. I don't know what to make of this. Everything I've read in the manual says that this is the settings, and it should the speed should, hello Joseph, you know, naturally reduce. So something's not right. I don't know what else. I don't know if my mixture maybe is too much still. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I can do micro adjustments. Okay. I don't know what else to do. It's like it's just, it's stuck right there. I think I still need to update. I know, Joseph, I'm sorry. Just come in and relax, okay? Let's not think about the sadness, okay? Just come in and relax. We're having a nice flight, okay? Please. You know, I know it's going to be a tough day for you. Just come in and take a deep breath and just chill. Okay? It's the funeral today, Camilla. But yeah, don't think that come for Xbox so many features. Yeah, yeah, because I think they still got to work. It's a Wasm issue, I think, Skip. Unfortunately, and there's no telling. I know they're still working on the fix, but I don't know when that fix is going to take place. So I need to dial back. The manifold should be at about 21.5. Let's go look at our. Nope, we are low on the manifold. So that's not right. All that stuff, and it's not. Wait, what's that? Okay, you know what I might be looking at? The outer part is. Wait, no, it says knots. I really don't know what else. Yeah, cruise is 82 knots, and we're still way above that. Like it's not. That is really strange. I don't know what else I could do to, you know, I've got everything right where I think it should be, but it's like, it's not acting the way I expect it to. So I wonder if that's a glitch or something that they need to. Carb heat. Having the heat is going to make any difference. I don't think there's anything back here I need to worry about that would affect the. Interesting. Winds, yes, yeah, it's been pushing me off course, but I don't think we have a tailwind or anything that would keep the speed up that, you know, additional 20 knots. But all the settings that I have, everything is right where it's supposed to be within the tolerance. It's all green, but it's like it's not. And I've got a 5-degree vertical. You know, we're going up, and you would think normally, especially in a plane like this, even at that kind of a setting, it would automatically drop the speed. You know, like it would kind of get down to where it should be. But no, I think we have a crosswind. I don't think we have a tailwind. So, yeah, it's very strange. So I think it's just something that they need to go back in and look at, because if everything's set the way it says it should be, that speed should drop down according to those settings. So I think there's a problem. because that's what caused the stress failure the other day. All right, take care, Amela. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Be well. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Very strange. I don't know what else to think other than it's the see, we should be down in this green area. That'd be our preferred sort of location of our speed, but it's not. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be something else I'm missing that I don't see. I've noticed that almost all Sobo planes outperform their specs. Yeah, but see, if I have the damage and everything set to realistic, the engine gets overstressed, and then I don't get to land. So yeah, that's the problem, because the speed, I think the way it seems is that we're going faster than we should, and then that adds stress to the engine, and then it's like we're done. So yeah, that's too sad, because I want to be able to fly this on a more realistic basis, but if that's a problem, then they need to go back in there and they need to fix that, so that once you dial that stuff back to where it says it should be, then you get it slows down, and then everything kind of goes into place the way it should. So yeah, it's very strange, but oh well, we'll just go on with it. Hopefully at some point we get 11260. Let's get that dialed in. All my plane starts to drift back to the kind of coming back on track here. So yeah, we're just heading towards the DME, so we don't get a... If you are in the greens for everything, then ignore the speed as not accurate. If you need to, put the manifold pressure back to ensure you are in the speed envelope. Well, that's what I tried to do that's what I thought I did on Monday, airlock. It was, and then all of a sudden, as we were right near Belgrade, it said, you had an engine stress failure, So that's what... So I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, everything's in the green, everything's looking good, but then it was like, no, the engine's overstressed. So that's the issue, I think, is it's not reacting to your settings so that it doesn't have, cause that, which is what I was trying to do today, just to practice to get those things right about where they should be. Yeah, about that. On the manual it says cruise is 21.5 Hg or less, and RPM between 2,000 and 1,800 2,000 to 1,800 RPM, or 1,850. So I looked at the manifold's gone down, so I need to bring that back up. Look at this. It's like I'm zigzagging all over the place today. I just cannot get this plane to just stay on track. Just fly normally. It's like the wind just keeps me going one way or another. So yeah, like all that stuff is set. Like it's all right within the tolerance. About almost 8,000 feet. I've tried to make it where we have a nice climb, but not too excessive, and then try to level things out. And that's one of the other things that I'm working on with the trying to cylinder head temp. Oil's right. Oil temperature, everything's right in the greens. There's that. Well, let's get over. So everything's right where it should be. That's what I don't understand. That's what boggles my mind. I mean, I don't think I need any carburetor heat because it should be warm enough. It's not like we're in super cold conditions or anything. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't quite get it. Again, it may just be something I'm not seeing, or something I need to dial back or add something to. I don't really know. But that's the tricky part, is if they're overperforming your small gauges under the mains, what are they for? That is yeah, there's the cylinder temps. Everything's within the... Okay, the carb temp is still... Is that low, or do I need to add? Maybe that's what it is. Okay, let's put on some carburetor heat. Let's start with 25% and see how that does. It may be the carb heat then is still not, it's not warm enough. Okay, that started to climb. It climbed a little bit, so let's add a little bit more on the carb heat. We'll just make little adjustments there. Maybe that's what it is. See, nope, it's still... Alright, maybe I still need to add... Let's go up to the 50s. Let's say 55. Maybe that's what it is. But see, even now the temperature isn't dropping. Maybe, yeah, maybe the carbs are cold. Maybe that's what's affecting it. That could be. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. All right, see, now those are warming up. Okay, let's leave those right there then. Oh my goodness, oh, Lord almighty. Let's see if that changes anything. That's low, yeah. Well, I don't think those have changed at all. The other ones, I think, are still good. Let me get back on track here, or at least get the plane turning. So yeah, they're all still within the tolerance. I can get the manifold pressure back up just a little bit. Probably. Yep, okay. See, now this thing's going to want to nose over. Yeah, it's not changing it. Temps on everything else. All right, let me look. Trying to keep this plane on track. Those are all still good. Oops. This is what I hate about this. The yoke gets in the way. You can't look at your other gauges until you remove the yoke. So those are all still good. The oil temp is within the good range. So yeah, that's what I don't quite get. There's got to be something else that I'm missing. Because by now the everything should have dropped off. You know, the speed should have dropped based on all that. I would have thought. But again, there's just something. And again, maybe it's just because I'm not using the traditional yoke and everything else that I can you know, pull things back accordingly or whatever. Just something's, it's not interacting correctly. Okay, what does the blue line on the RPM? Sorry, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep this off while in the interim. The I think that's like the low end. Like that's where, if you're between, yeah, we should be right where we should need to be, but I can add more, just a little bit more, just to get maybe some more, just a little bit more RPM. Make those small adjustments. All right. Yeah, see, even with all that, it's not, the speed has not dropped. That's what I don't quite understand. Yeah, it's not reacting. Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to understand. There's something that's not, all that stuff is not interacting correctly. I don't know why. That's what I can't quite figure out. You know, I don't think I have anything on unnecessarily. You know, everything's within the range that it should be. But that's why I'm perplexed as to why it's not, you know, reducing the speed as it should. Yeah, see, it's like it's stuck there. I just think there's a glitch of some kind. That it's not, the speed is not reducing when you yeah, they were all within, yeah, see, they're right, they're above the yeah, they're not in the yellow anymore. Yeah, so it's right, it's good. It's not iced over or icing, and so it should be interacting correctly at this point. You know, like everything's right where it should be, I believe. But that's why I'm perplexed as to why it's not reacting in a way where, yeah, it says keep it. Yeah, I saw that. It says keep it out of the yellow for possible icing, so you don't like ice the engine up. So it's almost like that's like your anti-ice in a way. Yeah, during possible carburetor icing conditions. So it's right where it should be. Our cylinder temp is a little bit high, but I'm not sure. See, that's the tricky part. And again, it's like I'm trying to do a bunch of things at the same time. The outside temp, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I have no idea because I don't have all the gee whiz bang stuff that Captain Arish uses sometimes. So yeah, that's the difficult part on flying on the Xbox. You know, he has way more stuff available, but I feel like it should be fine. Like, you know, we're right. Look up. It should have a thermometer. Not sure where it would be. Yeah, I don't think there's a thermometer. That's amps. That's our volts. Yeah, I don't think it has, oh, excuse me, anything like that. On the windshield near the top. No, I don't see it at the moment. I don't think this one has. Hang on, let me look. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I wonder if that's something that it didn't come with this one for some reason. There's no telling. I don't see any other dials. Would have like a nothing hidden down there. I don't see anything. Yeah, something's just not. I don't know. Wait a minute. Maybe over by the. Oh, that's gyro. That's not it. Sorry, folks, this is getting to be a little more involved than, but it's fine. We're learning. That's the important part. We're trying to get this to where we're flying it a little bit more realistically. I think it's just going to be a tough challenge on the Xbox because I really like to get a yoke and throttle quadrant that I can do a lot of this stuff, you know, without having to zoom in, you know, and you know, adjust things one at a time. I mean, I guess what I could do, let's just look to see. I don't know if there's a. I don't think there's anything on the back wall. I mean, I could check. No, I don't see anything on the back wall, any kind of a, or down below even. Yeah, I don't know. The Fokker has nothing but checklists in the manual. Yeah. See, that's I think it's something that they need to like probably either add in, or they need to go back in and look at their, if they tell you these are the settings that you should have and this should, you know, this is what you should expect to see, then I think that's the problem, quite honestly. That's my guess. So yeah, unfortunately. That's something Orbix, I think Orbix is going to have to probably go back in there and check all that. So, it's just one of the, yeah, yeah, I know. But that, I think, you know, at least that if that's a step in the right direction. If they correct that, then okay, now the plane is acting within its tolerances, and then you shouldn't get a failure, a stress failure. So we're just going to fly it with just using the fuel in the meantime, and we'll, you know, hopefully eventually that stuff gets fixed, and then we'll, you know, we'll know how to fly this on in a better sort of, you know, flying it much better. So anyway, well, thank you all for coming in. Skip and Airlock Doc over on the Posh channel. Mick and Joseph and Mel is gone. I guess my viewership on the Xbox or the YouTube side is a little bit low today, but that's okay. Not a problem. Yeah, well, that's the only thing. Like you know, and thank you for pointing out the carb heat, because I didn't even think about that. But yeah, there's some stuff that they need to get that they need to work on for sure. Anyways. So tomorrow we'll be in the Grumman G44A. Now, I'm gonna. That's another thing. You know, I'm gonna use the fuel, but I want to get to the appropriate cruising speed to see, you know, how the G44A reacts to, you know, because it's got a fixed pitch prop. You know, it's a wood blade prop, so you can't change the speed of the prop. So all we can do is the throttle and the mixture, I think. So we're going to try to look at that one and see what we can do. I looked up for the manual for that. It didn't really give much information on that one either, and that's not even an Asobo or Orbix plane. It's I forget who created it. So yeah, there's a lot of them that I think they just kind of made it very basic for the Xbox crowd, and they had to maybe take some things out, I wonder, in order for it to work, possibly because of the WASM issue. Maybe all that stuff will be reintroduced once the WASM thing is fixed. I don't know. You know, I just thought about that. That's a very distinct possibility of what they may have not included when the plane was released, but I don't know. I'm not a programmer or anything. I don't pretend to know what the how the whole thing is supposed to work. Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna eventually get that. I've heard a lot of good. A lot of people like it. They said there's a few minor things wrong with it, but it's nothing too like. It doesn't make it unplayable or unflyable. But yeah, it came out I think last week. Yeah, because there was like a bunch of the Coronado planes were released and the Goose. Oh, nice! Around the world with the Goose. Ooh, nice. Well, at least. Well, I guess the longest part's going to be well. I don't know how you would do crossing the Atlantic or anything unless you went north and over, kind of just under the pole and then into Ireland or the UK. Doing it a different way, going from Brazil to... Oh, okay. Kind of like what Allison did for the for the flight, for the Amelia Earhart flight, they went down south and then across. It was like the shortest route across the South Atlantic, which I think is the exact way that Amelia Earhart went. So, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I watched the ice pilots, and they were delivering those firefighter planes to Turkey. Yeah, I think it was Turkey, and they took off from Canada, and but the problem was those planes aren't made for winter flying, so they were constantly monitoring their temperatures and everything, and but they had to stop off. I forget where they stopped off at, but it was, yeah, RPM's back. RPMs are good. Yeah, that is right where it should be. But I found that if I bring the pressure... Oh, I'm sorry, okay. I can manage almost 2,000 miles on a tank. Oh, nice. Okay. Gotcha. I thought you were talking about my RPMs. I was like, wait, I think everything's set where it should be. Yeah, it was an interesting thing because, because those planes, they're only for like early spring through the summer and to like maybe early fall for firefighting stuff, and they were like, yeah, they had some issues along the way. They had some icing on the windshields. It was a very, but they got it delivered finally. Although they had to stop over a couple times in different places to work on the engines because they were just not. It's not something they should have been the conditions they should have been flying in. So. It was really, really interesting how they did it. And I think there was a couple times they almost got lost because they don't, they had to bring their own GPS system to put in the plane. It wasn't like a built-in. Like they had a small Garmin that they added for navigation purposes, but yeah, they had a doozy of a time. 5 viewers over on Twitch, thank you, appreciate that. I got 2 over on the YouTube side. Well, thank you all. Appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out here on this next our 5th leg of 32, going to the former Dutch East Indies in the Fokker F.VIIb. This is the retrofit. Let's get a picture here before I forget. I like that. That's a good, some interesting. There we go. Got all those fields below. So yeah, the Grumman G44A tomorrow, we'll take that from a Coast Guard station and we'll fly to, what's it called? We're going from Elizabeth City Coast Guard Air Station to Wallops. So we got a nice little flight with that planned. We'll put the Coast Guard livery on since we're flying from the Coast Guard station. I did see that the Goose has the Coast Guard and Navy liveries for it, which is really cool. I like that. So that can be introduced into the military aviation Thursdays once I'm able to get it. And Saturday we'll do the P-38 Lightning, and then we'll hop over into the Spitfire and have a nice little flight going over. We'll fly over Leeds and head on into the airport there. Milviz is streaming the news. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah, sell it to get the goose. Yeah, Skip was just talking about that. That was coming out today. I really wish a lot. You know, it's so disheartening as an Xbox player. You hear all this great stuff coming out, and you're just like, oh, it's not for us. It may not be for quite some time. Oh well. Yeah, it's rather unfortunate, but you know, I'm curious to see what happens when they finally get the Wasm thing fixed enough that they can start bringing more aircraft to the marketplace. You know, what are they going to put out first? You know? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and it's understandable. Like I didn't, you know, like when Jorg explained it, I'm like, okay, it kind of makes sense in a way, the closed garden aspect of the. No, I don't anymore. It's just you know, that's why if I had the means, I would just jump right over to a PC. I would get the whole setup and everything, but I can't right now, and just financially I can't do it. Because it's just like, man, there's so much I'm missing, and there's just no telling if or when we're gonna get all the gee whiz stuff on the Xbox, you know. So because it still requires the when they get ready to release it, there's got to be a testing process. However, what we're finding out on the Xbox side is they're using an emulator to test everything. So it's not like a true Xbox, like, you know, one that I can buy from, like Best Buy, for instance. So that's why all of a sudden stuff isn't working, and they're like, well, we tested everything. Well, the way they test it does not show all these little issues that creep up. So it's very disheartening, because you're like, you get so excited, you're like, okay, this play, and then you're like, it doesn't work. Like, why doesn't it work? Well, we tested, but the testing didn't really go the way it should have, and you're just like, great. So yeah, it's rather sad, I think. So yeah, exactly, a developer console. Okay. Because at first, the way it made it sound was it was an emulator, like they had a PC set up to emulate an Xbox. But okay, now that makes sense. It's a developer console, so they're testing it in dev mode, which hides a lot of the issues, I think, from my understanding. So yeah, that's the drawback. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, because when I was watching, when I used to watch the live stream, like roadmap stuff or whatever on for Train Sim World 2, one of the guys, he had a like they would show off a preview of a route, but he would be on like a developer Xbox or a developer PlayStation. So I think that's why, you know, when stuff got somewhat similar to what we're finding now, stuff would come out and then it's not working. They're like, how do we not catch this? Well, you're testing everything on the developer settings or whatever. So yeah, or you're testing it on a developer, specifically a developer Xbox. So yeah, so I'm guessing it's got some sort of just does not have the same connect. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense. So if they could, I don't know why they just don't get maybe like 5 regular Xboxes, right? and you set that up as your testing station. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't imagine why they can't get like 5 of them, or even like 5 Series S and then 5 Series X. So that way you're testing it on both Xboxes, and just to make sure, everything works on both systems. And, because sometimes it feels like there's no telling when, when something's going to kind of go haywire on the Series S. Yeah, that's the only thing. And I think if they had done that before PMDG released the DC6, like if they had tested that, they would have said we can't put it on the marketplace right now. Same hardware, it's all the other. Yeah, it's not live. Yeah. There we go. That makes sense now. But yeah, it's just. So then they need to connect it to the servers, I guess. If they've got the Xboxes, then they just need to connect it to the live servers to test it. I don't know why they won't do that. Like I'm sure they could set up their own server that is, like they could have a test server that mimics, or not mimics, but has the same everything that we connect to on the when we're playing the game in the quote-unquote real world, so yeah, I don't quite understand it, but what do I know? I would think that's something they should be able to do. If it's a security issue that they're worried about, they should be able to set up a secure server that has the same sort of what we connect to when we play the sim out here in the real world. There's rules I have always followed, and it's old. Dates back to Roman days. The plan never survives first contract. Yep. What you do, your perfect software is going to hit in ways. Yep. Yeah, I can understand that. My dad spent many years. He worked in computers, setting up like server rooms and all that for companies and even like local government stuff, and because the bad part was, this is in the days of nobody had a cell phone. He had a pager though, and so he would get a page at 3 o'clock in the morning. Something's not working and all that, and so he would go in, and it's just something was unplugged or something wasn't turned on. Yeah. I really don't know what else they can do to try to get, and it's like somebody said, it's like we're paying to test their product for them. Why, that's better. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, I kind of get the gist of it, even though I'm not like that computer savvy, but it's just, it's really disheartening for, because it was marketed as we were going to have the same experience as the PC side. And that clearly has not been the case. And we're not. Yeah, well, but some people are feeling now we are, because when stuff gets released on the Xbox, then that's when all the problems creep up, and then we're frustrated because it's not working the way we expect it to. I don't know. It's just a strange situation to find ourselves in, that's for sure. look at what you're doing. This was not. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't, Airlock, I don't know if you've heard this yet or not. You know, like, I grew up loving aviation. I was like a big, especially military aviation. You know, and you know, it's one of those things that, you know, as you get older, it's one of those passions that kind of goes to the wayside. And I think for me, it went more to the wayside when I got into cars, you know, like automotive racing, like IndyCar and Champ Car and historic racing and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, this is exciting. So you kind of get lost in that. And then, you know, but this has made me feel like a kid again. Yeah. Well, see, what I found, and I'm not trying to complain, and you have some very valid points there, is that on the Xbox side, we never know, like, one day this works, and then the next day, well, yeah, you guys can add the mods, but, yeah, like, I've had, you know, like, one day I test something, or I fly it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can fly this later in the week, and then when I go to fly it again, something's not working, and it's like, why it was working before, why isn't it working now? And it's hit and miss because, you know, when I kind of got away from the forums because it's, like, all over the place, that, you know, a few people encounter these problems, or somebody brings it up, and then a few other people are like, yeah, I've encountered the same issue, but because it can't be replicated, and it's not happening to a vast majority of the community, they're just like, well, you know, oh well. So that, I think, is the bigger problem, is that we're not, you know, it's just hit and miss sometimes. But I do appreciate, I mean, I love it when when things go well, it's like, this is fantastic. But it's like, sometimes you never know when it's going to go well. You know, or for how long it will go well. You know, that's, as an Xbox player, that's the frustrating part for me. But I do like it. I mean, I love the fact that I can fly an old plane like this. Well, virtually fly. I mean, I'm just using an Xbox controller and that's it. But I appreciate the fact that I can do this. It may not be 100% correct right now as far as the what I expect how the plane to act based on what I have everything all set up here, but at the same time I try to get I try to get better with what I'm able to use. Yeah, we add mods. Developers have to redo things because we change stuff they never thought of. This was coded just for Xbox, and you never saw this on PC. Yeah, I can understand that. It's and that was one of the early things that I ran into on the forums initially. Was there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh, the sim was working fine until the Xbox," and everybody's like, some of the PC folks were like, "No, we had some other problems before the Xbox. It was released on the Xbox, so you can't blame them for what's happened." You know, it's a very, you know, but no, I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it's not, it isn't it's not working the way we were told it would work. Yeah. But I get it. You know, like, I didn't understand a lot of it at first, and then when I got into the forums, it was like, okay. I felt very reluctant to introduce myself and say I'm on the Xbox side because some people, it was huge tool. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can turn them off. We can't turn them off. It's just that, and eventually I will. Like, I know that's the yoke visibility, and there's the fuel. Like, I just have to be comfortable enough to know where everything is. Yeah, I know. It's just, yeah, I was very reluctant to introduce myself because, I was like, boy, I just before, like when I got in there and I was just kind of poking around, I was like, boy, there is a lot of anger towards the Xbox crowd right now. It's like, boy, what did we do? I'm in the background too early in the day to moan about all that stuff. That's okay, Mick. Yeah. Yeah, if there was a way to kind of like minimize it in a way, I guess it would make sense. But yeah, but I do like it. I hope, my wish is that it continues to improve in such a way that it's a much more rewarding experience on the Xbox side. But my plan eventually is I want to get a PC because I don't know when or if, how much longer it's going to be before there's like this almost like a 180-degree turn, and it's like everything is significantly better. So that's my only concern. Because I think eventually people are just gonna they're just gonna be like, nope, can't do it. They're gonna enough is gonna be enough, and they're just gonna give up on it. So Sim Update 9, which was supposed to fix a lot of things on the Xbox side, has regressed it. Like, it's laggy. It's just it's not what it was in the lead up to Sim Update 9. It's like a major change on my phone. Imagine that even 2 years ago. Yeah, that's true. You can do that. I don't know. I mean, if I had a tablet, I guess it would make sense, but even that's a bit. Yeah, it's just I feel like I'm between a rock and a hard place. Like, I get the PC side of things, but I also, like, on the Xbox, it's like there's things that are happening that we don't quite understand as to why it's happening, or if it's something we've done that's caused it. Like, anytime something happens, I'm like, did I hit a button wrong or something? But no, I get it. It's just I'm trying to enjoy it for what it is. That's all I can do. But there's just a lot of things that I don't quite comprehend or get as to why things are the way they are right now. And it's just, I don't know. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to fly. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. But I only complain when it's like when something was working yesterday and then today it's not working. That's what boggles my mind. Like, I don't quite understand how that's possible. But I don't try to be. I try to be critical about it in a constructive way, hopefully, within my own. Yeah, I can understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. But one of the things I do like is that like Captain Arish, I fly with him. He's like, it doesn't matter if you're on PC or Xbox. You want to come fly with us? Come fly with us. It's all good. So there's like overall, I think there's a very welcoming community. It's just that when we get into the issues, it seems that's where the lines of the sand get drawn, and at least on the Xbox side, we're trying to make sense of these issues, and there's no easy answers, because it's not the biggest complaint I heard, or thing that I hear get said is, well, if we can't replicate it, then it doesn't exist, or we're not going to spend any more time looking at it. That's, I think, yeah. So, but yeah, you guys can do a lot more. I think that's something that isn't, like, you add in other mods, you can download other things to make the base plane better, but then how does when maybe a sim update comes out, does that cause your mod to become crazy. You know. Yeah. But that's, again, I think the biggest thing we hear on the Xbox side is if we can't replicate it, then you're out of luck. Hello, Patrice. How are you? Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye on our path here. Yeah. Yeah. So it's you know, the funny thing is the PC, the Xbox side, we have a lot of the concerns in common, I think, you know, but it's hard to, it seems sometimes it's hard to communicate within the community as to what you've experienced, or you know, if anybody's experienced the same thing, and try to get an understanding or maybe a workaround or something, you know. But I do, there's a lot of people, you know, like Two-Tone Murphy's group, Captain Arish, Allison, there's a lot of people who are more than happy to try to work, you know, or help you out, whether you're on the PC or the Xbox. So, yeah, I do like that. We have tons of, yeah, I do think that there's overall it's welcoming, but additionally, and even as the year has progressed so far in 2020, a lot of, like, there was one massive rant on the forums that this person was like, you know, how dare they put this on the Xbox? It's for serious simmers, and you put it, you know, like, he was just so angry, and it's just like, wow, dude, hate the Xbox crowd much? Like, he was really just like, ugh. Wow, okay, yeah. And I think they ended up removing it because they were like, we're not going to tolerate that sort of stuff in the forums. But there's still people that sneak it in. Yeah, that's what he said. It was like, seriously, welcome, Adam Soares. Nice to see you. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, he was like, you know, I'm a serious simmer, and I've been on playing since blah, you know, way back in the day, and you know, yeah, he was so angry. It was like, wow, dude. Okay, tell us how you really feel. You know. You know, I don't think I'm serious. I mean, I would like people who are serious about it and get all the, you know, like the throttle, the yoke, the throttle quadrants, and all that other stuff. Like I see a lot of people use, which I think is amazing. You know, I really do. But I will enjoy it right now for what I'm able to do. You know, like I looked up these historic flight, or these routes that like KLM did, and I was like, yeah, this would be fantastic to do. Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's good. I mean, there are developers who will go the extra mile to make it work for everybody, and others they put something out there and they're just like, I got my money and I'm gone. You know. So no, I do generally enjoy it. It's there's always those things that kind of creep in. I'm like, why did this happen? You know, like with this engine stress thing on Monday, I was like, what did I do? I thought I had everything set correctly, and then all of a sudden, then, you know, I had to go back, and that's when I looked at the little manual, and it was like, well, you should be doing this, and I'm like, oh, okay, I thought I did that, but maybe I missed something. But, you know, I'm always trying to learn, you know, how it's supposed to work. But again, like we're finding today, we got everything where it should be, and the speed is still at 101 knots. You know, I don't understand it, but you know, we'll still get to Sofia, and we'll land, and we'll call it a day. So, yeah. I don't know if Captain Arish is doing another flight in the 146 tonight, or if we're picking back up in Tasmania, I think it was, to continue his leg around Australia for his round-the-world flight in the Cessna 172. You are looking for a bush. Yeah, I've heard about it. I've looked at it. I would like to get it at some point. It's just that that's another type of flying I would like to get into, because there's so that's the one thing I love. It's a cursing and a blessing. We have so much that we can do. It's like, how do you find the time to do it all? Because I think on the bush flying, for instance, it's, you have to get used to that small aircraft. It's a short takeoff and landing. You have to adjust your flying a bit maybe for that, and get used to the peculiarities of that little small plane. So yeah, I would like to be able to do it. It's just I don't know how to fit it in. If I wanted to stream it, for instance, how would I fit it into my schedule? To be able to enjoy it. And that's certainly something that we could do, like on a multiplayer side of things down the road. But yeah, there's a lot to take in and do. It's just how do you fit it all in? And like when I flew the 737 yesterday, it's kind of, there's not much to it. Like, you take off, you hit the autopilot, you dial up the altitudes. It's pretty much straightforward, right? I don't know that I want to do the Candonians are here to help. Oh, Candonians. Oh, I like that. If you are okay with it, I would. Well, you can whisper to me if you want, or if you want people to if you're saying this is a good community and we're willing to help you learn, go ahead and plug it. Put the link in if you can. That's fine with me. I don't mind it. I'd like to be able to check it out and see what they do and get a feel for it. Like, I watched Captain Arish for a while after he raided my channel one time, and I was like, okay, I think I can. Now, I felt comfortable enough, like, okay, I can jump in and fly with them, and it's been amazing. I think I jumped in with them when they were out at Perth, Australia, and I've enjoyed every time I've flown with them. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm perfectly fine with that. Not a problem at all. I was in the military for 26 years, so there's not much you could say that's gonna, like, surprise me. That's the only thing I can indulge in, because I have a fatty liver issue, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't mind. I'd like to check it out for sure. Yeah, my doctor, Hondo is the streamer. Okay. I will check them out. Let me make a note of that. Here, a scratch paper. It's paper. OHH. I will look them up for sure. Thank you. Yeah, that's the only thing. My doctor is, because I have to get blood work done before I see my doctor, and if there's anything out of whack, he reads me the riot act. And I'm like, okay, my bad. Sorry. Yeah. So I have to watch that, because okay. Cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do like to meet people who are trying to help the community grow and improve, no matter how they play the sim, whether it's on the Xbox or the PC. That's the kind of thing I enjoy the most. So yeah, I'm really glad. It might, I'll be honest, my stream, everything changed for me when Captain Arish rated my channel, and he messaged me, a few things, and he was like, hey, think about this, and he's been more than, if I have a question or I need some guidance or whatever, he's like, think about it like this, or maybe try doing this instead or whatever. Yeah, it's my experience changed dramatically when he rated my channel, and I told him that a couple times. I said my flying, like I just fly IFR, low altitude IFR flights. That was pretty much it. But then he kind of told me about VORs, and I didn't understand it at first, and I kept looking at it, and he kept explaining it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And then it just changed the way I fly, So, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. That's the great thing. There's those groups out there that really want to help people get better. He's a fireman, so his schedule is weird. He works, yeah. So no stream in 2 days of streams. Always start. Okay. 6.5 hours. Wow. But yeah, it's yeah, I do love that. That's the great thing, and I'm always trying to learn something more. Like, watching Captain Arish do the celestial navigation for Allison when she's replicating the Amelia Earhart flight, because that's what Fred Noonan did. He used celestial navigation. So yeah, that's the I'm like, wow, that's really cool stuff. And he's like, well, check this out, and I was like, okay, yeah, but he could do it on the PC because he could have all the windows open the way it should be. He shoots his azimuths and stuff like that. But yeah, that's like a really amazing stuff. Too much, like, yeah. But it's like, if you have the time, like, one of the things, like, I just, I kept working with the VOR stuff, and eventually I was like, okay, this makes sense, and this is what I should do. Yeah, just, but yeah, that's a lot of, like, I'm not that good at math, generally, so it's like, I don't know, but yeah, I do like the that they're kind of bringing, they're showing people how it was done before we had all the GPS stuff. This was how they navigated, and it was, it was precise to a, but it was also, it could be very, if you miscalculated just a little bit, you could totally mess up your stuff. So, but yeah, I do enjoy that. But it is a lot to learn. Like, I was like, man, wow, this seems complicated. But he said, if you just keep practicing at it, eventually you'll have to do something like hit the autopilot, walk away, come back later, plane is out of gas, restart the plane. Interesting. Yeah, it's but yeah, I do enjoy watching him do all that stuff and trying to pick up on it. I did join on the second leg, on Saturday. We landed in Eritrea, something like that. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to fly with them. And just kind of cruised, and yeah, it was good stuff. So I'm not sure what he's going to do tonight. Get his up and running normal night, and I was not even flying, just watching. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something I definitely want to get at some point. It's just, I gotta find, but I want all that on the PC side, for sure. I would like to get it for the Xbox side, but I would have to find a way to mounted on a small table, kind of in front of my chair, because I'm sitting in front of my TV on my TV stand, so I would have to have a table where I can put all that, mount it so I can use it. Yeah, the Turtle Beach. Yeah, Oz has talked about that. I think he's got the Turtle Beach, the Velocity one, I think it is. Yeah, he loves it. So it's just, for me right now financially, I can't justify it. So unfortunately, but in the future, I wouldn't mind. But if I really would like to get more of the, if I'm going to get that serious, I'd like to do it, like to get the Alpha and Bravo stuff, because that's like the better quality and everything. But that's like, I've got a whole list of, like a shopping list, that if I ever get the chance, I price it out. I think I would spend about $6,000 with the computer tower, a decent sized monitor, throttle yoke, what else was it? Yeah, a bunch of different stuff. But yeah, it was like, when I totaled it up, just what I had, it was like almost $7,000. Wow. Yeah. But, because I think Kevin R said he kind of just got his stuff a little bit at a time and just kept adding to it, because he said, it was a budget issue also. He would pick up the next piece of the puzzle. It just took him some time to build it up. But then a lot of people, they make their own like instrument panel. They get some wood and they cut things out, mount stuff, and then place that in front of them, and then they have their main computer monitor, and then maybe like a little an iPad or something, or a small computer off to one side for streaming stuff or whatever, watching streams, and then yeah, it's really cool stuff. It's one of those hobbies you can really get deep into it, and it's going to cost you though, if you want to get that serious about it. Like, was it Spitfire's building that you can definitely ease in. Yeah, it's down yeah, exactly, Skip. But yeah, I there's like that whole aspect of it that, like, was it Spitfire's building a home cockpit that is modeled on a Spitfire, which that is absolutely amazing. Some people really like, on DCS I've seen people, one guy I think had the cockpit of the F-14, for instance, or something like that, or the F-18. Like, there was a whole video that he did about it. Wow, that is really serious. But, why not? If it's something you really enjoy doing, I'm just happy that I found people who are, willing to share knowledge and help get better, as a sim pilot, as much as I can right now with just a controller. And Mick will tell you, when I first started, like, I was just using the standard controller, I was all over the place. Like, in the 152, I couldn't fly that thing to save my life hardly, especially landing. Landings were like all over the place. But yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, a lot of streamers have the Stream Deck. Those aren't cheap. Streamlab stuff. And there's like more way. It can get very in depth, and but when it's something you really enjoy, why not? If that's what you're. I mean, I always say there's worse things you can spend your money on, for sure. But all right, looks like we are finally at our first waypoint here, and then we're going to turn for only 27 nautical miles to Sofia. I think what I'm going to do is step away for just a moment. Crash test dummy moments, the good old days. Yeah, I'm going to step away for just a moment, folks. I'll be right back. Okie dokie. I'm back. We're going to start dropping some altitude as well. Because that 27 nautical miles will disappear very quickly. Swap the frequencies. 260, and we should be on a track 118. There we go. Oh, that's okay. I got it. It's for a while there, airlock. I'm sorry. It's just that I had a lot of people come in that were just getting a little bit. That's okay. I'll approve it if it's something, you know. I got it. It's just that, yeah, for some time ago I had a lot of problematic kids in the chat, so I just had to set up the auto mod for me to be able to review the message, so that's all. Yeah, we had. It's gotten a little bit better because I think when I moved my stream start time to 7:30 Eastern, you know, most of the kids are, you know, otherwise engaged. Hello, Skeptic. How are you? Welcome. We are should be under 27 nautical miles to Sofia, Bulgaria. Hopefully this time we don't run into any major crashes or whatever. But yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, it's just I had to put that on because yeah, they got very disruptive in the chat, and I asked them to chill, and they weren't going to listen. So yeah. Oh, no worries. Glad to have you here. So we're coming in on runway 27. I've not talked to ATC the whole time, which has been kind of a blessing, I think, giving all the stuff. Yeah. Oh no, I watched the video she posted in Captain Arish's Discord, and that is absolutely amazing for do-it-yourself stuff. Like I was like, wow, that looked really good. And I like the little, like, your narration with the, you know, like, I did this, and, you know, like, you know, it was good. I really enjoyed it. That was awesome. No, stuff like that. I love hearing about that. Yeah. Some of the cables, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I had to laugh because, you know, your little, you know, when you were explaining what you were doing and everything, it was really good. Yeah, another watch list, yeah. Yeah, but at least you got something set up, which is, you know, better than nothing. You know, or having everything kind of just all over the place. You know. But I like that, you know, there was things that you encountered that you didn't expect, and you were like, you just kind of rolled with it or found a you know, a solution to the problem, you know, or at least is, you know, for the time being. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun to watch and learn from the, you know, how you set everything up. And like you said, there's still things that you want to improve on, but you're on a good start, I think. At least from what I can tell. Come on, plane, lose altitude. How much more do I gotta tell this thing to nose over before it finally... Okay, now it's doing its thing. Not that far, that fast. Goodness gracious. You know, the other thing good, I think, like the Discord... especially because a lot of that stuff would traditionally be found like in a magazine that shows, you know, people how they built their home, you know, cockpit or whatever. But now you can share that almost instantly on a Discord or on your own channel, so people can see it, you know, within a reasonable amount of time. Not like, you know, like you build it in February and they don't see your build until March or maybe even April if it's a bi-monthly magazine. So that's the great thing about like Discord and YouTube, is you can share all that information right away. All right, folks. Well, we should be getting in here to Sofia here in a little bit. We'll identify our runway. We'll come around and try to power this thing down and come in for a nice landing. Again, no flaps. We just kind of have to... Basically, the way I understood it is you have to kind of come in flat. So, you know, bleed off speed and then kind of flatten it. And, Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like you could do a whole article on it, or like several issues, but then it's like people are waiting for that next issue. Unless, well, I guess you could post it on the website, because most magazines have a website now that you could update your article and they can see it in real time. But the fact that you can share that information and it's not like it's costing, like you're not asking people to subscribe and spend money, like even on some websites they're like, oh, if you want to read this article, subscribe now for $9.99. But subscribe now and you get 2 free issues. There's always some kind of catch they like to throw in there to get you to spend the money. Oops. But then again, we all like to get paid for our time when possible. Well, I do appreciate everybody coming in today. Yeah. Thank you for the 1 thumbs up over on YouTube. 5 viewers. Thank you all for coming in. Hanging out. Oh, 4 viewers now. Sorry, I've been kind of keeping up. I got 10 folks over on Twitch, so just trying to. But yeah, thank you all for coming in. Greatly appreciate it. Nice to see everybody here. Hopefully you enjoyed the flight, despite the fact that we did not solve the things that I thought we were going to solve. So it is what it is. So it's all good. This thing does sip gas, that's for sure. So, yeah. Been a great... Oh, thank you for 2 thumbs up. Appreciate it. It's always nice to see a little love in the stream. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK in the Grumman G44A widget. Picking off from the Coast Guard Air Base. We'll head up north, I believe it is. I think we're heading north to Wallops, and we'll land there, and we'll call it a day. Should be a nice, easy flight. Friday we have one of our last view requested flights. It's the second to the last. We're heading from Abu Dhabi to Riyadh in the A320 on Friday. That shouldn't take very long to do. We'll be back to Lightning Saturday. This is my airport. I feel like this is my airport coming up. There's a single runway. Look at I think that's our... Yep, there's our airport right there. Wow, this thing is really speeding now. Probably should dial back the... back the power a little bit. Oops. Come on. Turn off the ident, and we are coming in on 27. Yep, okay. So our runway is right that end. Okay. We still got to drop a lot of altitude here. Yeah, I agree with you, Skeptic. It is awesome when people can share the knowledge and help you improve everything. All right, we can go ahead and turn that off. As always, thank you once again, everybody. Greatly appreciate everybody being here today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the flight. Hopefully you've had a good Wednesday, morning, afternoon, evening so far. All right, I have my plan. May not be perfect, but I have a plan. Continue to drop some altitude here. What's the altitude of this? (1,742 feet). Okay. Oh, thank you, Airlock. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Catch you later. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Turn to the left here in a moment. It's been nice not hearing the ATC yelling at me every 5 minutes to change frequencies. Turn towards that lake or whatever that is. We're going to keep circling here to the left. Boy, it's like this plane is all over the place coming in. Must be one heck of a crosswind or something. Right. Let me turn to the laptop just so I don't get distracted on the way in. Still came in a little bit too high. Well, we made it. We touched down. That's the important part. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, I'd like to welcome you to Sofia, Bulgaria. Well, that was not too shabby. Still coming in at a pretty steep angle. Kind of hard to judge the... Anyway, we understand and appreciate the fact. No, not too bad. Not too shabby. We didn't crash. That's the important part. We understand and appreciate the fact that you have many options. Yeah. When it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures, we are glad that you chose to fly with us today. Does the... I've not, like, really focused in on them, Skeptic. Or Patch, I'm sorry. Yeah, it does make things a little bit harder. Like, you know, I'm trying to line up, but it's, you know, that in, you know, like trying to figure out where I need to be. Yeah, I do need to practice on the PAPIs a little bit better. That is for sure. All right, we'll go find a spot to park. Call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, in the Grumman G44A. Should be a nice little flight for Thursday. Join us if you can. Oh yeah, I do. I should practice it. You should. It's just that the way that this plane is supposed to land, like you're supposed to kind of come in kind of flat, and then and then it should be a little bit easier to land. I was still coming in a little too steep and trying to bleed everything off, and luckily this was a long enough runway where we could kind of hover over and just kind of bleed that speed off, and then it just set down on its own. But yeah, overall I should be paying attention to that. I don't though, but it would probably help me improve my landings. We'll go find a parking spot over here somewhere. And we'll wrap this thing up. If I turn on the... Does it give me any kind of an indication of where to go? No, it does not. Okay, that's fine. Well, we'll find something. But yeah, it's something I do need to improve on, is stuff like that, I think. What is that? Oh, okay. I thought it was like a... Oh, there's what we'll do. We're just going to pull... Oh, that's the baggage thing. Just sitting there. Yeah, I think we'll just park it right here. This is like a good spot. Well, actually, let's just go up a little farther. Yeah, I've heard that too, although there's this, yeah. I can imagine that, because it seems like whenever there's like a world update, a lot of that stuff gets kind of thrown off, possibly, I'm thinking. And they have to go in and kind of, you know, like, in some places, like the ILS stuff is like misaligned. Alright, there we are. Well, we made it safe and sound to Sofia. There we go. Alright, an hour 48. Not too shabby, although we were speeding. But we made it. So, that is going to do it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out, having a nice time in the chat. Thank you for the 4 thumbs up over on YouTube. And once Twitch catches up with itself, we'll get out of here. So yeah, tomorrow, G44A, we're going from Elizabeth City Coast Guard Air Station to Wallops. So should be a nice flight for that, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Oh, thank you, Adam Source. Greatly appreciate it. Nice to see you here. And that will be it. Take care, Skip. Just make YouTube and Twitch. Let's see. Where is... Okay, as soon as the screen pops up, we'll wrap it up. Take care, Patrice. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, that's going to be it for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Do enjoy... Take care, Skeptic. Do enjoy your rest of your Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, early Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Until then, peace. Live long and prosper.